Welcome back to episode 3 of The Path to Recovery. My name is Trevor Quist.
And I'm Ryan James.
We're working with some new equipment here, so things are going to be a little bit awkward at first. We did not get new cameras yet, so what you're seeing is still phone cameras, but running through some of the equipment that we're going to be using.
It is very well MacGyver.
It is, but it works for right now. I mean, whatever, but that's not why we're here anyways. The reason we're here, firstly, I want to apologize for not putting out more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Content.
Well, yeah. We haven't been consistent, and we had promised consistency. That's hard to say without teeth, man. We promised consistency, and it hasn't been there, but we've been waiting for equipment before getting in guests, and that way everything's done right.
Wasn't there, you were waiting for stuff to come back in stock too, like, weren't you, the microphones or something?
Yeah, I was waiting for these microphones. They finally came in, and then I've just been waiting for
I had court last week.
Yeah.
That's why we couldn't record last week.
How did that go anyways?
I won. Oh, no.
Wow.
No, we went, let's see. No, I went to court a couple weeks ago and won. It was, last week I went to the courthouse because I had that meeting, and when I got there, or you brought me there, when we got there, it turned out it got rescheduled, so I went there for no reason.
Yeah, that's right. But anyways, that's part of getting yourself back together, is taking care of a lot of things. Anyways, so while we're waiting for gear and waiting, to bring on a guest, we figured we'd sit down and talk today about relapse and recovery. I mean, relapse is a big thing. I'm pretty sure everybody that has gone through recovery has suffered some sort of relapse.
Yeah.
Drugabuse.com, that's another thing. We're going to be putting up this stuff that I'm reading live into the video when the gear comes in. Anyways, from drugabuse.com, recent relapse statistics show that more than 85% of individuals relapse and return to drug use within the year following treatment. And researchers estimate that more than 2/3 of individuals in recovery relapse within weeks to months of beginning addiction treatment.
And I believe that too, because I've learned through my recovery that, and just watching from the outside into other people's recoveries, that the longer you go without using, the easier it gets.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The hardest part of recovery is the first few months the first year. Really, just that's the hardest part, because not only are you trying to beat the addiction, you also have to get all new friends. You have to change the circle of people that you hang out with. You have to change your whole life. It's basically a whole overhaul of your life, and getting used to that. You have to change your routine. You have to find employment.
Oh yeah.
And reintegrate into society, which is people don't really realize that you have to do all those things until you're doing it.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things, I think, is reintegrating. I was having a conversation with you the other day about one of the times that I had stopped using, and I had support from the important people around me, but there was an individual that I spent most of my time with, and he didn't want to hang out with somebody using drugs at that point. So I had started to, I don't remember how long that I wasn't using. It was a few weeks, a month or month and a half or so. But then somebody close to him convinced him that I wasn't clean, and they kept wanting me to do drug tests and shit, trying to convince him to do drug tests and shit. So I wasn't getting, the thumbs up from like the rock there, I guess, that anger.
Yeah.
And because of that, I ended up relapsing, and every relapse seems to be way worse than the last one.
Yep. Yeah. I remember my first relapse. I remember I had been doing heroin pretty steadily for a while, and the guy I was getting it from said he was going to be out for a few weeks. And I remember I had like one bag left, and then I had done it. And I was real upset and started getting sick after. And it was kind of like a forced sobriety thing. Like, I wasn't ready to quit at that time, so it was really no surprise that I had relapsed after that. But I had gone like 4 or 5 days without it and got real sick. I was in bed puking and stuff, and I'd have a buddy come over and make sure I got up and went outside and like walked around and stuff. Like, it just felt like I got run over by a truck. Like, I felt so crappy.
Yeah.
And I remember as soon as my guy got back and had stuff, I was right back on the wagon again. Or off the wagon.
I think, yeah. You fell off the wagon.
Yeah, fell right off the wagon.
I don't know, man. It's easy. There's a lot of people that I know that were clean and sober when I was using. They had used, and then
I was one of them. Like, I didn't really use when you were using. Like, I did a pill here or there,
right,
but I never did anything huge. Like,
right, but
not until I moved out of Connor.
Right, but you were still using, and
I'd snort a hydro here or there.
But that's what I mean. Like, a lot of people that I knew, even other people that were using way worse than that, were sober during that time, like in recovery, but then they just disappeared. Like, many years into recovery would just disappear, and never really heard from again. I guess you could say they relapsed. And
you can tell when somebody relapses or when somebody's deep in it. Actually, ever since we started this podcast, I'm not going to name any names, but I've had 3 or 4 people get a hold of me, and they're active users. One just got a hold of me the other day. Yeah. She wanted me to help her move and stuff for like the 10th time. I was just, can't.
No.
Like,
but I don't know. You want to be able to go and support these people if they want help. You know what I mean? But
that's the hard part is
they don't want help.
You have to see past like all these things. Like, do they A, want to get clean, or B, are they saying they want to get clean, but you know what I mean? Are they lying? Are they? You have to wait for the person to be ready.
Right. That's
like, if they ain't ready, it ain't gonna happen.
Right. That's the biggest thing. If you don't want to try to force it on anybody, because that can
make it worse.
That can make it worse. That can backfire and make things a lot worse. Speaking of you talking to
people,
we were talking the other day about possibly having people who are currently using on the show.
Yeah, I was thinking that, like,
Um,
it's like getting into the nitty-gritty things, like, you know, they'd have to, you know, be blacked out, like, in all those TV shows there, like, when it's like, oh, this witness, and they have them completely blacked out.
yeah. I mean, we'll deal with that stuff when that comes around. But
Yeah, just an idea, you know, if anybody thinks that's a good idea, or
yeah, let us know.
you know, let us know in the comments or whatever. Just an idea. We're kind of rolling around. We're trying to see where to push the envelope with things.
You know, the point of the show is to help people want to get into recovery, want people to learn some skills maybe to...
In prevention.
Right, yeah, prevention. I think teaching the skills the best we can, or, you know, the stories, can help a lot of people.
Yeah.
In staying sober. I think hearing some, like you and I are going off of memories, and
You're right.
and other people that we're going to be having on the show are
Yeah.
going off of memory. I mean, everything's going to be memories for people, but I'd like to hear from, you know, these younger people that are currently... Shit got bad, dude, since I got out of that. Like,
yeah, I've been out of it a while too.
Like, I mean, when I was using, there wasn't people dropping dead all the time from some
Fentanyl.
fucking laced up shit. Like,
Yeah.
You know, that
It was when you were using, it was big pills. Like, you guys were dealing with pharmaceuticals. Nowadays, everyone's messing around with shit that people are making at home. Or
right,
taking and cutting with stuff they shouldn't cut, you know.
right. That's the thing. Like, I think when I was using, there was very few times that there would be no pills around. I didn't spend money on small pills
Right.
that you would snort or something.
No, you were going after the 80s.
Right.
Back when that was a thing.
And then
80 milligram.
And then even when those were kind of discontinued in the States, the way...
Yeah, they were coming from Canada.
Yeah. So if they weren't coming across the border, then those would be the few times that we would get some heroin or whatever. But it was never laced with shit. Like,
yeah.
Never like what I'm hearing about now.
Well, it's when I was in the drug world, what I kept hearing from the big guys was that heroin was like $20,000 for a kilo or something like that, and fentanyl was like half the price.
Right.
So that's why they were cutting so much fentanyl in with it, because they were making money.
Right.
They don't, like, the people at the top, they're not using. They don't give a shit about the people below.
Yeah, they care about lining their pockets.
Yeah,
they don't care about the end user.
Yeah, they don't care who's dropping dead off the stuff.
Right.
And users being users and being stupid, when you
They
hear
really
someone
don't care,
drop dead, they're like, oh, that's the good shit.
Yeah.
We need to go get that stuff. It killed Carl.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
And that's the mentality of it. Like, when you're in that, it's like, oh, that stuff killed Carl. Get me some.
I mean, I was reading back when I was using, like, if there was like cocaine around or something.
Yeah.
You know, oh, it's good coke. You know, you never get pure coke, not up this far.
Yeah.
But it was, oh, this is good coke, so we go get some. But now they're fucking putting fentanyl in coke, man.
I know.
It's the opposite effect of what you're getting coke for, but they're still putting fentanyl in coke.
Yeah, they're just getting silly with all of it. And just drugs are just a horrible thing in general. And I mean, like, I had warnings in school. You had the DARE program, which basically was a program where a cop came in and showed you how many different types of drugs there were and how messed up it would get you.
And this is what the drugs look like. So.
Yeah. This is how you know you're getting the real deal, kids. Like, I think the DARE program helped create more addicts than they saved.
I remember sitting through DARE in 4th grade.
Yeah, I was in 6th.
And there was a kid next to me, like, laughing with his pipe. You know, he was smoking weed or whatever. but you know, that's what DARE was just...
Yeah.
You know, there was no stories about where it would get you other than jail.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all the cop would push was you know, you're either gonna die or go to jail, which is kind of the end game anyways.
I wasn't made aware of a lot of stuff until like my freshman year of high school, when my neighbor got busted for having a meth lab.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, that was one of the first times I really heard. And, like, I was just real oblivious to all that kind of stuff growing up.
Right.
Like, I didn't even know that you smoked marijuana nugs until I was, like, 18 years old. Like, I thought people smoked leaves. Not even going to lie to you. That's how... I was not educated about anything. So, like, when I got thrown out into the real world, like, of course the real world chewed me up and spit me out because I had no idea what I was... getting into in the drug world.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I just kind of was in it one day and never didn't get out, and
that's how it happens, man.
Yeah. And I think if you know, we share our stories and kind of educate especially the adolescent or, you know, people that are between like 10 and 25.
Yeah, I think yeah, exactly. About that age group. We have to share our stories, share other stories without being too, you know, it sounds, I don't know how to say it.
You have to be age specific. Like, you know, this is what we're going to talk about to teens. And then, well, you know, the high schoolers, you know, you can talk about this. You know, if we go and talk to middle schoolers, well, we have to stay away from this type of talk, but also, you know.
Right, well.
Peer pressure, that is the biggest thing, though. Like, to fight peer pressure, because I wouldn't have gotten into anything.
Right, unless somebody wasn't like,
if it wasn't somebody, like, reassuring me that, oh, you're good.
Right.
You know?
I think when we're telling stories, I want to, you know, say this for the listener. We're not trying to glorify anything in any way. That's what I was trying to get at. Like, by explaining stuff, we got to be careful not to sound like we're
gloating.
Right, because
it's not cool.
No,
none of anything that we did was remotely cool in any way.
No,
it is in fact the complete opposite. Everything that we were doing was completely uncool.
Right, yeah.
And should be a guide of what not to do. Like what we did, do not do. Right.
Well, I mean, like when we're laughing and this and that.
That's how we cope, though.
Right.
That's
what we've turned into.
That's what.
And it was our life.
Yeah.
Like that's the big thing is I'm hitting this microphone and it's pissing me off.
Well, we learned to laugh at the stuff that we did.
Right. And, you know, we know it's not funny. It's not.
No.
You know, it's a shitty way to live. And
absolutely.
And that's why we're here trying to just.
That's why we laugh at it now. It's kind of one of those like the saying is, you know, oh, well, it may suck now, but you're gonna look back and laugh at it later. And
right.
That's kind of basically what it boils down to, because it wasn't funny. None of the stuff we did, it was funny at the time, you know, when we were doing it.
I don't even think it was funny at the time. I mean,
no,
you know,
that's probably a shitty way of putting it.
Well,
it more or less was just a trip to Crazy Town for a couple of years, man.
Yeah.
Like, I would not be friends with the guy I was. Like,
no,
holy fuck, I was a fucking douchebag.
Right now, I have a hard time to talk to people that are still in that, you know.
Me too.
And, but if somebody can sit down and tell me, you know, truthfully what they're doing, or, you know, their story, I guess everything's gonna be a story. I just want to, you know, I just don't want to I don't want to talk to somebody and then just lie to me constant.
Right.
Because that's how that life is, man. It's just all lies, and it's
Yeah. Yeah. See, it'd be good to catch somebody like a couple weeks after, like, quitting, like after they got past the initial Jonesies.
yeah. It'd be cool to follow somebody's path.
Yeah.
Fresh path.
That'd be awesome. There's an idea.
Yeah, I think
could happen. We'll be doing this for a while, so
it could happen.
Could happen. And it doesn't even have to be drugs.
No, it can be.
There's alcohol.
Yeah.
There's
that's
self-inflicted. There's gambling.
Yep.
Fuck.
What?
Eating. I mean, we can follow my recovery and not being a constant eater.
That's another topic that we're going to be covering here is self-harm.
Absolutely.
People who cut themselves or hurt themselves. I have a friend. We have a friend.
Yep.
Not from anywhere near us, but he had mentioned that he would like to share his story.
It is an addiction. Like I went through it in my teenage years, and it had nothing to do with wanting attention.
Right.
Like I wasn't like the high school girls just look at my arm I chopped up 100 times. Well, it was all where nobody could see.
Right. Well, you're kind of releasing mental pain through physical pain.
It just felt good. It was weird. It was it's hard to explain.
But then that in itself becomes an addiction.
Yep.
And that ends in a lot of death. And
yeah,
I had, because
scars.
Preparing to speak with our buddy there, I had done quite a bit of research on that topic because I know nothing about that myself. So I had done a lot of research on it, and yeah, it's definitely an addiction, man.
Oh yeah, yep. I've dated a few girls that they were addicted to that.
Yeah, that's too bad though. I mean, any addiction.
There's a lot of reasons people self-harm.
Yeah.
It's mental. A lot of it's mental, or the person's getting abused, or something really bad's going on in their life. They want some sort of control.
Right.
And there's just so many different reasons I came across.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I can't wait to get him on the show, and that'll have to be a Skype call because we can't.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fly him.
I'm not gonna fly him up here. Not yet, anyways. It'd be nice to be able to fly people in, and
the summertime it'd be cool to have him come up anyway.
I think I talked to him about it, and he's got a new job, or he got a promotion or something at his job, and good for him. He's busy all the time now.
During the summertime, you think we can get that motorcycle dude over here? Your land speed buddy.
Yeah, probably. I'd like to.
That'd be somebody fun talking to, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hear about his motorcycle racing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting guy to talk to.
I think he comes up, I want to say around the first or second week of July. They come up and race, and I'm sure I could get him over here.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to meet him.
Yeah, I'll actually send him a message here later on and see if he'd be willing to.
He added me on Facebook too.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. So he's watching he's probably watching this or listening to the show here.
Yeah, when I go live or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, he's good shit, man. But anyways, that's gonna wrap up. We're just gonna do that was just a short little thing for today.
Well, I think when it's just the two of us, we'll do half-hour episodes, and when we have a guest, we'll stretch it out as long as they feel like talking.
Oh yeah, if they want to be in here for 3 or 4 hours, I don't care. I'll stay here all day.
We'll stay here.
But yeah, we just wanted to more or less update you guys. Considering that we did say we'd do weekly shows.
Yeah.
And then things just got busy, and we're just making sure we want to get shit set up.
That's why we also have to kind of keep it to half-hour intervals at the moment anyway, because our camera setup is a little spotty right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm using my cell phones.
Yeah, we're using cell phones, but that's not for too much longer.
No, that will be, I'd say probably, won't be next week's show, but the week following. The week following, I have an operation, though, that I have to do. I just started thinking about it. Like, I don't think it's going to affect us recording any, but
we'll play it by ear. We don't have to necessarily record on Mondays anyway.
Right.
There's other days.
Oh yeah.
The only days I'm really booked up the whole days is Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
I work double shifts.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for stopping in, listening to us rant on here, and we'll see you guys in the next one.